Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is me, the Mysterious Cameraman, and today I'm going to be giving you my predictions on Spider-Man: The Last Hunt, or the sequel to Spider-Man: Prom Night, starring Zach Crouch as Spider-Man. Before we get into this, however, I just want to quickly talk about my fan film coming soon, Spider-Man: The Kingpin of Time, with the main characters being Spider-Man 2099, Kingpin, Eleanor Bishop, Daredevil, and more. So go check out the announcement video on my channel now. So now going back into Spider-Man: The Last Hunt, this was a fan film announcement that released October 31st, I believe, which basically spoke about a bit about Prom Night and how this is going to be a great sequel to it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about all the characters, all the other characters I wouldn't really say, but like what the characters will be doing, the basic overall plot that they didn't reveal, and some really cool details that I think can also lead into Midnight Mission, which is releasing this Christmas. So, first off with Spider-Man, they reveal he's going to college, I believe. He's dealing with his college funds. He's all alone because MJ broke up with him in the last one. So he's basically all alone in a very dark place. And there he meets Frogman, which is a very interesting match, along with also meeting Moon Knight and then having to deal with Kraven the Hunter, their villain of the film. So let's just get right into it. This channel, HCF Studios, posted a community post a few weeks ago about what are you most excited for Spider-Man: The Last Hunt. It was seeing MJ and Peter patch their relationship, Kraven the Hunter, Frogman get on Spidey's nerves, Spider-Man fight, and I think the other one was, I think those were the four options. I might be wrong though. And that tells us a lot about it. First off, we know that Peter and MJ will patch their relationship. Because, of course, first off, they're not going to be like, you're all alone, sorry. They're going to get back together. Everyone knows that's going to happen. But the other thing is that we're going to definitely see Spider-Man and MJ definitely go through a rough patch. The entire last film was them going through a rough patch, and the last one was an hour. So we can expect that with a similar runtime. Going off of Tangled Hero and Prom Night, we can expect this to go an hour and 10 minutes. So that gives a lot of time for them to really deal with the issues of Peter and MJ's relationship. And I think they're definitely going to go into that route and really try to make it difficult at first, but slowly be able to patch it after those issues. And I do believe MJ is going to find out Peter is Spider-Man by the end of this film. Now we're going to talk about Frogman, and he was a very interesting character going into this. I was like, first cool, but like, no one really cares about Frogman. So why is Frogman going to be in this? There's no reason for him to be. He was in She-Hulk. But since then, he has no reason to be in this. He's not really a Spider-Man character. When they posted, I'm going to be putting a very interesting character in this, I thought it was going to be something like, I don't know, Daredevil, Spider-Man 2099, Miles Morales. But Frogman's a very interesting one, along with Moon Knight as well. Those are two very interesting characters I did not think Spidey would team up with. So, for Frogman, I think he's going to definitely be a comic relief, get on Peter's very sad nerves, because in the last one, Peter was kind of a comic relief character playing off of Kurt Connor's suicidal plot. So having him be the comic relief, I think it's going to kind of flip it, having Frogman have to help it. I think Frogman's going to be kind of a bad hero trying to team up with Moon Knight and Peter. However, I think he's going to know, Frogman is going to know that Peter's Spider-Man, or is going to find out later in the film. But I believe that he's going to try to team up with them and kind of just be bad at it. And Peter's going to be like, sorry, but you can't help us. I'm not letting you get in danger. Which I think is going to be a very fun thing to see. Now going into Moon Knight, I guess. I think Moon Knight and Peter are going to meet on a mission to track down Kraven. I think Moon Knight's going to be given a mission to kill Kraven. And then Kraven's going to be wanting to kill Peter. So I think they're going to kind of be like, we both want him dead. Let's kill him. And I think that's going to be basically the plot of this film. And even though it's super basic, it's going to be fun to see Moon Knight. But I think the other thing is Midnight Mission coming out this Christmas. I haven't really spoke about this much, but I'm going to speak about it a lot coming this December. So what's going to be happening in Midnight Mission is it's going to be in the Spider-Man Prom Night universe introducing Moon Knight. So I think it's going to be he said it's going to be a short, so it's probably going to be like 20 minutes. A 20-minute Moon Knight mission, ending with the reason why Moon Knight's going to show up in Spider-Man: The Last Hunt. Either he's going to meet Peter, or he's going to have to deal with Kraven. Something along those lines, which I think can be a very interesting story. Or maybe Moon Knight is fighting the werewolf from Werewolf by Night. Because they did work together, fight in the comics. And Kraven kills the werewolf because he's a hunter. and then Moon Knight's out for blood. So I think that can be a very interesting plot, but I think having it begin with Midnight Mission to introduce Moon Knight, so we love Moon Knight, we love Peter, so then we meet this amazing villain, Kraven, with a lot more depth than the Lizard in the first one. I'm not talking about Kurt, I'm talking about specifically the Lizard. Kurt's amazing, the Lizard is not, and also Frogman. So, now going into Kraven, I think Kraven can be a very interesting villain compared to Kurt. Kurt Connors is such a great character in the first one. He's portrayed so great. However, I do not think the Lizard is. I think if you are making the Lizard the villain of your film, you have to make sure Kurt is good or it's a waste. Because the Lizard's a non-talking person, kind of just kills. So, if you are making the Lizard your villain, you have to make sure that it's worth it. Which means you have to make Kurt Connors worth it so that the Lizard isn't. I think Kraven can be a great villain all around, not just one part or the other. I think everything about Kraven is going to be super menacing, super fun to watch, and I think way more scary than a Lizard. I think he's going to kind of lean into a horror aspect and try to be this really scary villain. So I spoke about Peter, spoke about Moon Knight, spoke about Frogman, and spoke about Kraven. The final character I have to speak about is Mary Jane Watson. So what I believe will be happening with MJ in this is they said it's going to go a bit into her home life, which I think can be interesting. I think it's going to kind of be the very small plot of the film. I think it's going to be boring to watch because it's kind of like taking away from the plot. But I think if it's done well, it's going to really show that MJ really is also as alone as Peter. And when they left each other, both of them are hurting. So having them get back together, even though they might not like each other, if they get back together, then they really can heal each other instead of hurting each other by being apart. So, overall, I'm really excited for Spider-Man The Last Son. I just gave predictions on basically how all the characters are going to work in the film, but wait, I didn't give on the plot. So here's what I think will happen. Peter is going to college. MJ is going to the same college, however, is having to deal with home issues because it's near their home. And there he gets the roommate of Frogman. They kind of don't know that they're both heroes, but they meet as heroes. And eventually Peter finds out Frogman, and they find out who each other are. So Peter finds out who Frogman is, but Frogman doesn't know who Peter is. So it comes into this dilemma, what does Peter do about his annoying roommate? So I think that happens, and then we also, in a fight with Frogman, we meet Kraven the Hunter, and Moon Knight as well. Moon Knight is trying to fight Kraven, and Spider-Man comes to Moon Knight's rescue and fights Kraven, but Kraven runs off. And then Moon Knight and Peter meet, and they find out who each other are, and we get into Moon Knight's story. We meet Moon Knight, how he has his 3 identities. I think we'll meet all 3. I think Peter's going to have to help with that, and I think Frogman's also going to be helping with that a bit. I think MJ is also going to play a small role with her home life, but I think she's going to play a big role as the lover of Peter, and those scenes are going to be sprinkled through it. I don't think we're going to see any solo scenes of Kraven like how we saw of Kurt, but I think we're going to see a lot of Kraven fighting Peter in these horror scene aspects. I think it's going to end with not necessarily Peter dying, but I think Peter getting brutally injured, and I think he's not going to lose anyone death-wise. I think Kraven's going to die, but I think it's going to lead into this finale of this trilogy, which should be very dark, and I think they're going to kill off MJ or Moon Knight in that finale. So besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. Please check out Spider-Man: The Kingpin of Time, the announcement if you haven't already, and also check out HGF Studios to see the Spider-Man Last Hunt and Spider-Man Prom Night. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.